Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and this is your weekly tarot guidance for the week of February 8th through the 14th of 2016. And, this week, you start off on the 8th with a new moon in Aquarius, okay, followed by Mercury also going into Aquarius, okay, on the 13th. It will be in shadow still from that retrograde we had in January until the 14th, okay? And then it's going to be like all systems go. We'll be done with that for a while until I think like April. So that's a good thing. So this is a very interesting week coming up. In many parts, many of you will be celebrating Valentine's Day on the 14th. And there's also that Single People Day, whatever it is you choose to call it. It's certainly a day to go forth and love the people that you know. I don't think it's about having a significant other. So, anyway, now, I do see some interesting things going on here. In regard to commitments, not necessarily love commitments, they could have been, or they may have been something else. But I have a feeling that this is that point where it's finally, time to take a direction. Choose a path. You are at your crossroads. Do you still want to go that way? Or do you want to separate and go in different ways? All right. I mean, it could be a relationship that's already separated. It could be a business relationship. There's something going on here. And your judgment comes into play this week. What you consider to be worth doing. All right. It's about being cheated. Perhaps there is someone that you feel betrayed you or did you wrong. There's a lot going on. A lot more than just Valentine's Day, my friends. So, use your mind when you make these decisions, okay? Don't think with your heart. Use your mind and think through them clearly. All right, this is very important because this is an established relationship, an established bond. So whether it was a relationship, a marriage, a business partnership, a friendship, something that was at one time really important, I just feel like the paths kind of separate at this time. So there's something going on here. And you might finally be coming to that point where you're saying, okay, this isn't this no longer works in my life. Now, not a bad thing. A lot of hard work being put in, all right? And this has been going on for a little while now, maybe for about 7 months, all right, where you've been feeling like, the first half of 2015 was kind of like, oh my God. The second half was kind of like, all right, let me pick myself up, dust myself off, and see if I can't get something going here to change the way things are going. Yeah, all right. March. March is still going to be very important. And now at this point in time, we're a lot closer. You can almost see March coming. All the changes that you've made, you still haven't quite gotten to where you want to go yet, all right? You still feel a little bit like you're defending yourself, all right? But, gather your troops and gather your strength and keep standing your ground because it is coming. And for many of you, it also brings a stronger financial feel. There is something going on here where, even if it's not financial, it's like the universe just suddenly, finally hands you something. I want to say when March arrives or after March, somewhere in there. Interesting to remember. All right. Life always has its ups and downs. And sometimes things can feel like they're really, really bad. But the hardest thing to remember when it is really bad is that it won't always stay that way. Not if you get up and you do something about it yourself and actually get the job done. So this almost feels like a really big reward for having accomplished what you need to do, because it feels like you now, hold the keys to your life, and maybe you can start going and unlocking some doors, because I believe they are going to start to open, especially when next month gets here. Interesting. So, you're completing a cycle. And I think it's a cycle that you'd be happy to be rid of. Very, very nice. Now, some battles are not without regrets. How else can I put this? Because even when you win, you may feel a little bit defeated because in reality, you may not have wanted that battle in the first place. You know what I mean? It was one that you really didn't choose to fight, but finally you had to stand up for yourself and do something and, take care of things. But you did, because I see the success of it here. And, there's this, I think, a little help along the way, like seeking some guidance on what to do. All right, because it involves change, and sometimes change is not easy for some people to like open that door and let it in. Others welcome it and are very, happy with it. But what I see here is that having survived, not just being successful at, with these battles that you've been fighting, but the idea that you've survived and you're still standing. All right, it's time for a little Elton John again, I think. Now, yeah, see, one of the things that I have been seeing for many of you right now, it's like everybody would like for me to say, love, 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 because it's Valentine's Day this week. But part of it is that not just emotional security that everyone needs, but right now, because of all the things that have happened to so many of you, especially like if you had a relationship that split or a business that went bad or something else, there has been a change in your financial status where it needs to feel more secure. Because some days you are not always sure how it's going to turn out. Like in the long term, can you handle it? Can you do it? So, there's a lot of balancing going on here and working on bringing harmony to your life. And you need to have patience with this, all right? Patience. And, some of you have to remember, okay, that you actually have to change a little bit how you lead your life, all right? You can't always go out to eat. You can't always go to the movies. Everything in moderation. So, if something happened, you just can't think that life is going to continue the same. And it's not saying that life's bad if you have to cut back on things. But that's what I'm seeing here is everything in moderation. And maybe you're not too happy with it. But it's kind of like an oh well, suck it up and wear your big girl panties or whatever that saying is. But, see, it's kind of like a little bit hard times for many of you. Some of it is emotional, some of it is financial, and some of it's other things for some of you, but I really truly think that by the time the solstice comes, it's like happy days are here again. All right? There's a big change by the end of June. All right? So I really think that this whole starting right now, on the 14th, when Mercury leaves shadow. Granted, there are 3 more Mercury retrogrades this year, but you're in a really good position to get going with the changes, the things that you need out of the way this year so that you can go forward. So if you keep working with the planets this year, I think you're going to have a great deal of success. But you're going to find that if you've been doing what you're supposed to be doing right now, this week, then when you get to that solstice in June, you're going to be like, yes. Now, part of the plans that you have going on involve eliminating. And some of the things that are, being eliminated, it's painful to do so, all right? Simply because they hold memories. They could go back for generations. They could go back for years. Whatever it is, it could be people, places, things, relationships of different types. But, choices need to be made in order to bring you toward your goals. Now, your goals for the future, this has been a very difficult thing to discuss with anyone, all right? Because it's like you've already hit the point of no return, okay? That was back in, October, all right? Just knowing that you were never going back there again. It's like it finally sunk in. This is it, and whatever I have to do. And then it's been that struggle to go forward and finish the job and get away from it, all right? I see a lot of success with this and a lot of emotion attached to it as well. But I think what do we have? Like March, April, May, June, somewhere in there. It's, I think more freedom, okay? Freedom from the hard times. Things do get better. Because what I think you're going to see, especially next month, all right? I know we're supposed to be talking about this week, but if I see it, I have to tell you, next month feels a little bit up and down, all right? Because you're working toward the future, but you're eliminating the past. So see, this week you're working on eliminating the past. That's why I'm bringing this up. So as you're working out all these details and it's finally getting finalized over the coming weeks, it is going to be, all of a sudden one day, bam, it's like the sun is shining again. And, life just suddenly looks really good. And I tell you, it will happen. Now, let's put down some more cards because I think this is a really good week. And I think a lot of people will appreciate the Aquarius energy coming in. Aquarius people that I have ever met are a little quirky. Okay? I think quirky's good. So we'll see what happened. But now, see, motion. The motion is finally going to be good. And that's it. It's time to sever, cut off the head of the beast. All right? That which has caused you so much pain. Unbelievable. I think there's some real enlightenment going on this week as well. And really seeing what's happening here. Yeah, a lot of seeing. Now, if you've had any gut feelings about certain things, I think that they will be resolved this month. Where you'll go, I knew that. I just knew that. I knew that's how it was. I should have done that. Should have done that a long time ago. No sense beating yourself up over it. Just remember to go with the flow. All right? Because it is what it is. Sometimes we have those, gnawing little feelings and nagging little voices and intuition talking to us. And we go, nah, because there's nothing or no one to back it up. This is different. It's like you finally find out the truth. And the truth is, it's done. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing that it's done. Amazing. All right? Because truly, in order to have a new beginning, you have to have a pretty big ending sometimes. So your new beginning is coming. And I feel it's coming really quick at this point. It's much closer. So you have I think you have a little bit more time of back and forth. And I think it's more like April when you feel a little bit better about things. But amazing, absolutely amazing. What a week this is going to be. And I hope no matter who you are, where you are, who you're with, who you're not with, that you have a wonderful week. And the most important thing you need to remember is to love yourself. Absolutely love yourself, because you are the most important person that you know. Absolutely. And that just shines. It's here somewhere, and I wanted to say it because it just shines forth from you. And people will see that. But you have a wonderful year coming. And I think you're about to find out. All of 2015 and all that wondering and everything just seemed to be turned upside down in life. It's going to change. Just remember that it will never be the same again. And this week, you're kind of looking, should I go this way or should I go that way? Very important week in your timeline. So, I want to thank you all for listening. We'll meet here again next week, and take care. Have a great week, everyone.